Hello everyone, welcome to my channel AWS Solutions Hub. We are going to see how to see a pricing beforehand as a part of FinOps course. So if you have an architecture ready or if you have a blueprint ready of your application but you are not sure how much it will get cost incurred when you deploy that application on AWS. So you today we are going to see how you can estimate a cost for your application. So we will see, for example, for EC2 and S3, how you can estimate a cost. Definitely it helps before you deploy your application on cloud. It gives you good glimpse from the cost perspective. Before you start your journey on AWS, you can actually estimate cloud cost. We will discuss and see AWS Pricing Calculator to calculate cost and estimation for some of the services. Okay, so let's start. AWS homepage or the landing page, look and feel many of the time it changes. So this is what it looks today. But this should give a good glimpse or sense how to look up the various services so you can begin to get more comfortable with pricing information on your own. AWS pricing page helps you to get pricing and understand pricing models across the range of AWS services. This gives us an organized view of the AWS services catalog and with some filtering also. So, for example, if I have to show you, okay, I clicked on pricing, then learn about pricing. Okay, when you go down, you see there are number of services available here. So far today it is showing 197, and basically what you can do is you can, if you want to look at the pricing for EC2, just look for the EC2. It gives you all EC2 related services and selecting any one of them, and you can see the pricing for that. Another way of looking at pricing for a specific service is going to this products page. When you go on products page, you can see here it is showing all the services that AWS supports. Suppose if I select EC2, and it will take you to the specific product page where you can see the pricing tab here. Selecting that again, since it is EC2, there are different pricing models involved, but it gives you information about the pricing for that specific product. So going back to the pricing page again, let's try to dig more into the EC2 service. One of the services, that is EC2, how this page looks like. So I have clicked on pricing, then learn about more pricing, then I have come down. What I'll do is I'll use some filters here. Let's say EC2. Okay, let's select that. Now it has taken us to the EC2 related pricing model, and you can see EC2 supports different pricing model like purchase model, on demand, savings plan, or spot instances. There are reserve instances also you can select from. So for example, let's say we want to see the cost for the on demand. Okay, so you can select here on demand. So on demand involves any EC2 involves unset pricings as well. For example, there are data transfer or EBS volume. So not just EC2, but you can get a glimpse on, for example, what are the data transfer charges for each region. If I go for the elastic IP address, what are the charges for the elastic IP address. If I have to get the load balancer, then you can visit the load balancer pricing page. So this page gives you a good understanding from the pricing perspective before you deploy your EC2 instance. For example, let's say in Ohio region, you want to deploy one EC2 instance of Linux. Okay, so again you can filter it out on based upon the type also. uh, let's suppose we want one memory optimized instance with two CPUs. Okay, now these are the options we have for memory optimized instance with two virtual CPUs. And you can see the on-demand hourly rate for this instance. For every instance, they have given you the on-demand hourly charge, and whether it is uh, which type of storage it supports. So some of the instance types supports only EBS only, volume. And again you can see now you can select the data transfer. So basically if data coming from the internet or going out to the internet, it incurs charge. AWS incurs charge for those data transfers. So the amount of volume that goes out from EC2 to internet, okay, you can see the cost here. Okay, or if you are transferring or the data transfer happening between EC2 and other regions, okay, uh, you can see here the per region cost also if you are doing the transfer to the another region. Okay. So this page gives you the good understanding of your complete architecture from a pricing perspective before you actually go and deploy the EC2 instance. There is one more way how you can estimate the cost for your application is using the AWS pricing calculator. So how can you go to the AWS pricing calculator? So I just do, okay, this is the service. uh, AWS pricing calculator, it's a free web-based tool provided by AWS to help us to estimate our AWS cost. It's important for budgeting, planning, and understand the potential cost. The estimate your cost. It allows you to create the estimation using create estimate. Budgeting, what budgeting helps in is budgeting can give you sense of expected monthly or yearly bill, allowing us for the better financial planning. So how to use this service? Once you search for the AWS pricing calculator, let's to create estimate. Okay, you will land on this page. Again we'll do some filtering and search. You can do based upon two options. One is per region, or you can directly go for the services. Let's do it from the location wise, or the region wise, because every region has its own pricing involved, and we want to do it for EC2. So search for the service where you want to estimate the cost. Okay, let's do configure. Okay, now there are multiple options, whether you want the shared tenancy or the dedicated tenancy. Let's go for that based upon your application architecture, operating system Linux. Again, there are multiple options based upon your workloads. Do you see the daily spike or a weekly spike? Okay, but I'll select the constant usage with one instance, but you can select 2 3 based upon application needs. Again we have to select the instance type. Okay, either you can select based upon the direct the instance type, for example T3 nano or T2 nano or T3 micro, if you are very much sure on that. Otherwise what you can do is select the instance family first. So suppose if I want to select T3 micro, so what I'll do is I'll come here, select the instance family. Now I see the complete list here, right? But here I want to select a specific one, then I can choose something like it will give you the results only for the T3 family. So from the T3 family, I have selected T3 micro. Okay, you can select the virtual CPUs you need, the memory you need, and the network performance. Okay, suppose I have selected one instance of T3 micro. Now since it is EC2 instance, there are different pricing models involved for EC2 instance. So one of them is on demand, which is the most costlier one. It charges you for the per hour basis. Okay, so but here you can see the different pricing options also, like compute savings or the EC2 savings and spot instance. There are two more, like the reserve instance. Reserve instances is, it's an old option to go into the savings plan or discounted option. The savings plan is the latest one, so that's the reason AWS don't directly show these options. These are the latest one. But here you can see, if I go for the on demand for T3 micro, I'll be charged 0.0104 per hour. Okay. But instead of that, if I go for the compute saving plan, suppose 1 year for no upfront, okay, when you select no upfront, then again you will be charged monthly. But if you select all upfront, then you have to pay 61.32, and you will go under the compute saving plan with 66% of discount. Then there is another option of EC2 savings plan. So you can choose the best option suits for your application. Okay. Even there is the spot instances gives the maximum discount out of all the savings plan or the pricing models. But again, there are some risks also involved with spot instances. But if you have a use case where spot instance fits, you can select it here. For example, if you go for the if you select the on demand, now it will shows the calculation. One instance, this is the per hour charge on demand hourly cost for 730 hours in a month. Okay, this is your EC2 charge. But just doing the EC2 may not be sufficient to get the actual cost. Suppose you have the volume and the IOPS requirements. Also, suppose my application is 100 IOPS with GP3 volume and 500 Mbps. The storage amount. Suppose you say I need 50 GB. Okay, again, it has to be from the application. Again, it adds up to your original EC2 calculation. This is your EC2, this is your EBS calculation. Okay. Then if you have data transfer to be added, detail monitoring to be added, just add it. And what you can do it, save and view summary. Or if you want to add another service, for example S3, let's try to do that. So I'll do another service. Let's do S3 and let's do configure. Now S3 has different storage classes, so which one best suits for you, you can select that. I'll go with default since I'm just showing you storage amount. Let's say I'm going for the 100 GB per month. Okay, so if you can estimate the number of requests for each method, okay, you can do that. So if you have these values, this will give you the nearest picture of your estimation. Okay, so my data transfer cost is showing zero because I haven't selected anyone. But let's see, let's do save and view summary. So you can see here, after adding EC2 and SC3 service, my 12 months cost would be this much. Okay, what are the next options? What you can do is you can create groups also. For example, from a pricing perspective, tomorrow if you want to uh, uh, just see the cost for these two services, EC2 and S3, out of all other services. Okay, you can create a group for these two services and you can see the pricing in the cost explorer. Or another options is like you can do the extract also, like in the Excel, PDF or JSON format. You can share it across. If you have if you want to share it to the management board, the financial board, have you what is your application budget, then you can create the link. Okay, suppose if I do that, okay, you can see you have a public link here. You can copy this and you can share it across. Okay, so that's how you can use the AWS pricing calculator to give you uh, an estimation of your application. This is definitely useful when you have application ready, when you know which all services you are going to use, in which all regions you are going to deploy your application. So definitely once you deploy this application based upon this estimation, you will need to optimize your application based upon the real time performance. But this initial estimation gives you that confidence to go on to the AWS cloud. Okay, so that's it from this lecture. I hope you have understood how important it is to know the AWS pricing calculator, how differently you can see the pricing for different services. Okay, thank you. Thanks for watching. Bye.